Hi everyone, it's Patty the Quiet Sister. Welcome back to my channel. For today's project, I made 2 Halloween cards using new releases from Pretty Pink Posh. I used the Build-A-Monster standalone die set, and I used the layered birch trees. So I started off using Catherine Puller inks, and I'm creating kind of a moon rising, sun setting kind of situation. And I started off using Chiffon. And then I used It's a Girl and went around the moon. And then I used Be Mine just to intensify the pink and bring the pink out a little further. And then I used Flirty Fuchsia and just went around the pink area. And then I used Grape Crush, and then I used Midnight Ink after that just to go around the edges. And I'm using Bristol Smooth cardstock, so even though some of the ink blending doesn't look as smooth, it smooths out really beautifully when it dries. And so the Midnight Ink, what I had done is I had seen Mindy Egan's design doing blacking out the trees instead of making them look like daytime birch trees. She made them look like nighttime, and I thought it was brilliant, so I did the same thing. So finishing up my ink blending using Grape Crush, and now I'll bring in the, it's a 2-part stencil, but I only used the tree part, the trunk part. There's also a stencil that does the little knobs in the bark that birch trees have. It's a really great stencil, but I just went this route, and I love how it turned out. I love the colors. They're not too Halloween-y, but it's a Halloween card. My goal on this was just to make it look like some ghoul friends getting together and taking a picture together. That was actually my goal on both of these cards. So anyway, stenciling in the trees using my CP black ink. And look how cute that turned out with the colors and everything. I love it. So then cleaning up my sticky mat, which of course got stained immediately from all of that. But what are you going to do? So I cut out a bunch of parts using the Build-A-Monster. So these are all different body parts. The larger pieces, the abdomen, and then you've got legs and horns and arms, feet, furry middles to put these on. So I used blue cardstock, lavender cardstock, darker pink, a lighter pink, and then the green, kind of the Halloween green. And this was all scrap cardstock, so I can't tell you who it was because it's a bunch of different brands together, just using up my scraps. And then I'm taking some of my Catherine Puller inks. I used Flirty Fuchsia on the purple pieces. I'm using, I believe It's a Girl on these pink pieces, and just giving them a little dimension by going around the edges with ink. And then just using my small blender brush to do that. For these smaller bits, even the small blender brush was a little big. Oh, it was Be Mine, not It's a Girl, sorry. So then once I got all of the monsters covered in ink, highlighted with ink, I took all the pieces I had cut out and created what I wanted my monsters to look like. And I think they are just adorable. So I'm gluing them together a little at a time. I'm not going to make you watch me glue together all of these monsters. But I used a horn that's supposed to be 2 horns, but I just thought 1 horn would be more fun. And that's the great thing about this set. You can customize it however you want. The green one, the 2 horns I used, they're actually supposed to be like cow horns that come out, or like Viking horns that come out, but I did them the other way, and I think they look adorable. So it's such a fun set, and it's one of those sets that is too cute to spook. It definitely can do the Halloween theme, but it's not a spooky situation at all. It's as fun as you make it. I mean, you could do these all in rainbow colors. Wouldn't that be fun? Little rainbow ghouls. Oh, it's just fun. So gluing on that last leg, and then I do the same thing for all these other monsters. I just glue all the parts together. And it's amazing how they look different when you move the pupils around, or you slant the mouth a little bit, turn the mouth upside down, whatever you want to do. So these are all complete now. And so now I'm going to figure out how I want them on my cards. So the 3 that are off to the side are going to go on a background that I had created previously. But these 3 to me they're just getting ready to go out for the night. So they're getting together, getting their, getting close, getting ready to take a selfie, or just took their selfie to go out and have fun tonight. So glued them on. Obviously there's things hanging out over the edge, and we'll go ahead and cut those off. So that background I had made previously and ended up not using it. But for that background, it's a brick stencil from TCW. And then I sprayed it with Wicked Elixir Distress Mica Stain. And so it took, 30 seconds to make the background, 10 minutes to dry, and the background was ready. And so I didn't want to throw it away. It just didn't work. It wasn't big enough on a project that I have upcoming for Pixie Dust Designs design team. But it was a perfectly good background, so I used it for this. So now I am using the sentiments from Pretty Pink Posh. Sorry, I had to grab it. I forgot to write it down. So these are the Pretty Pink Posh upright greetings for Halloween. And I love that they're vertical instead of horizontal, because a lot of times on our cards, we do make all this effort to make these beautiful backgrounds, and then we cover them up with a sentiment. So love that it's vertical. So got that one. I used the Boo to You on that one. And then I went glue happy, so I'm erasing some of the glue, cleaning it up a little bit. I don't know what it is. I got that precision glue press and it works great, but I always put too much glue on. I don't know when to stop. You'd think I know, but I don't. And then the eye, I had not colored it black all the way to the edge, so I'm just touching up the eyes a little bit with my black Copic marker. Just doing a couple dots. The ink moves, so you don't have to get it exactly where you want. You just have to touch it a little bit. Okay, so now just a couple, me and my glue again. So now I am digging and I am grabbing the glossy accents. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on the eyes and the mouths of all of these little adorable monsters or ghouls. And off camera, I don't think I show it, but I had covered them all in glitter gloss, which is no longer available. It was a Close to My Heart product, but they had the best glitter pens. It's like using a Wink of Stella. So I had done that with all of those. So that card is done, and now it's time to get to work finishing up the other card. So what I had done is I had taken Simon Says Stamps Wooden Planks embossing folder and embossed a scrap piece of paper. And then using Pixie Dust Designs Haunted House, I cut out some bats and some vellum ghosts, which I did not end up using the vellum ghosts. And then I came in with Over Coffee, starting with Catherine Pooler's Over Coffee and inking up the wooden planks. And then I'm coming in with Icing on the Cake and just darkening it up. And it's intentional to have some darker spots and some lighter spots because that's how wooden floors are. They're not all the same color. So love how that turned out. That is the best embossing folder for doing floors, or I could cut little rectangles out of that and make them floating shelves. I mean, it's a wonderful embossing folder. So I'm cutting it down, and I didn't cut it down small enough. I only needed half of what I used for this. But created my wood plank floor. And now I will get some glue and get that glued onto my background. I'm not sure how well tape runner works on the mica stain, so I always make sure I use liquid glue on that. And then when I sprayed the mica stain and let it dry, I went around the edges, I believe with Melon Ice from Catherine Pooler. It's been a couple weeks since I had made that background. So then cutting off the extra, and like I said, I had too much background there. Floor planks. So got that taken care of, putting that down, and now I will add my little ghouls. Same thing, 3 amigos taking a picture. They're at their party, enjoying themselves on Halloween. So kind of arranging them how I want. And then I'll get those glued on. And the bats then, see, I put a ghost on. I decided the ghosts really didn't add much to it, so I saved those. Tucked them away. We'll use them later. Got the bats arranged that way that I want, and now I'll get my ghouls glued down. And I'm using Barely Arts glue. It works so well. And then I wanted to make sure the middle guy was on top, because I didn't actually put arms on him. So the other two have arms, and then I wanted the middle guy on top of them. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my bats down. And then again, black scrap cardstock. I can't tell you what it is. This is such a great set for using up your scraps. I can't even tell you. I was so happy. I knocked out like 4 pieces of my scrap paper making this, which was great. And I had cut extra bats to stick on the background there because I really didn't feel like I wanted a lot of extra shine. I mean, the ghouls have their shine, and I didn't want the background to have any glitter or any sequins or anything like that. So I've glued my bats down, and then I did a sentiment from Lawn Fawn's Pick of the Patch, and off camera added it to the card. So that completes my card project for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.